Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning after show, the morning after the night before. Let's get some better light in here. Here we go. I'm currently sat on the floor in my bedroom. Lid is looking horrendous. Desperately need a haircut. I haven't got time today. Anyway, that was hard work, wasn't it? So, responding to my thoughts on Newcastle's 0-0 draw against Wolverhampton Wanderers yesterday. Usually, morning after the games, whether I'm driving to work, at home, at work, if I've got 10 minutes spare, I'll go straight on to YouTube. There's certain people you look for. So Craig Hope, his channel, Keith Downey as well. They're two like journalists to look at. Then there's another group of Newcastle YouTubers, Magpie channel, Newcastle Fans TV, etc. But I noticed Craig Hope and Keith Downey at time of recording still haven't put anything up yet, and I don't blame them because fucking hell, that was hard. That was hard work to watch that game. I just had a quick look on the socials, and Eddie and the team are getting some absolute pelters today, most of which I can understand. However, I do like to try and put a positive spin on bad results, bad performances. But let's just go through it. So the starting 11, no real surprises. I was not shocked at all to see Kieran Trippier in at right back. I knew after he got some minutes in his legs against Man City, I thought, yeah, Wolves away, that's a perfect game for him to come back in and start. So Nick Pope, Lewis Hall, Sven Botman, Malik Chels, Kieran Trippier. 3 in midfield, no surprises. I felt a little bit bad for Lewis Miley. I think he deserves a run in the team in midfield now after playing so well at right back. And whenever he's been moved from right back into the midfield later on in games, he's done really well. Anthony Gordon, Harvey Barnes and Nick Voltemada. No real complaints. I thought, because Wissa started against City, I thought Voltemada would start this game. So yeah, no real complaints, no real surprises with the starting 11, to be honest. I was not surprised one iota, as I expected. So, we get down to Wolves. Wolverhampton Wanderers, bottom of the table, were on course to be the worst Premier League team of all time. A dead cert for relegation. It will take an absolute miracle to bring them out of the current mire. However, picked up a few results recently. Beat West Ham 3-0. Drew against Manchester United. Beat Shrewsbury in the FA Cup. Now, I don't know if I've got those 3 results chronologically correct, but, you know, they're in a decent, the best vein of form they've been in all season. However, Newcastle United, at the time, prior to kickoff, were 6th in the table. I'm not going to get good light anywhere in here. Anyway, never mind. 6th in the table, Champions League team, semi-finalists of the League Cup, still in the FA Cup. This is not a game that we should... You can't take any game for granted in the Premier League. That has been proven time and time again, particularly proven by Newcastle United. However, there are certain games, certain fixtures we have to deal with, right? We are expected to win, and that was one of them. But the game, I turned it on about 20 minutes in, or 25 minutes in. I've been following it on the Premier League app, so it was post the couple of chances that Nick Voltemada had. So he had a chance from a Harvey Barnes cross, I believe, and a chance from an Anthony Gordon cross. But the first half, we were in complete control from what I saw. Complete control, complete domination. It was wave after wave of attack. And Wolves, though defended stoutly, did not seem to pose any sort of threat to Newcastle United. Now, that continued into the second half. Wolves did grow into the game a bit. Their 2 in midfield played very well. And it just begs the question, how many times this season have we seen or heard a commentator say, or you've seen it with your own eyes, a midfield duo has played really well against us? Burnley, I know we won that game, but Burnley was another example. So it does make you think, our 3 in midfield, our so-called world-class three in midfield are getting not dealt with and not dominated by, but getting posed problems by one less man. Now, I cannot remember the names of the two Wolves midfielders. That's not a pompous attitude or a superior attitude. I just don't know them. Now, should Sandro Tonali, Italian international, Bruno Guimaraes, captain, Brazilian international, and Joe Linton, Brazilian international, be troubled with respect by a two-man Wolves midfield? No. I'm going to cut to the chase. We were never going to score. It felt like, to me, despite it not being a defeat, it felt very much like the Manchester United game recently. We could have played for an extra 20, 25 minutes, and we're not going to score. Chances, plenty of chances. Nick Voltemada, Harvey Barnes, Bruno had a couple of efforts from outside the box. Joe Linton. There's chances, but we weren't really creating anything sort of nailed on. It was all crosses. I've never seen a team cross the ball so much but cause so little problems for the opposition. Anthony Gordon and Harvey Barnes, to be fair to them, were doing well getting the ball into the box, particularly Anthony Gordon from that left-hand side. Lewis Hall delivering. Kieran Trippier, he's such a good player, Kieran Trippier. His passing, as much as I know he's getting on now, but his passing is unparalleled in that position. Tino Livramento, I'm a massive fan of his, but he does not have the passing range of Kieran Trippier. It says so much that the closest, from what I saw, we came to scoring a fucking goal was the Kieran Trippier free kick. Did we have a shot on target? I think, do you count that Joe Linton soft header as a shot on target? It was embarrassing. The lack of attacking penetration was embarrassing yesterday. We seemed to just spam crosses into the box. One of the commentators mentioned this, and I agree with him. Nick Voltemada, despite his height, is not a great header of the ball. You look at the header goals he has scored. Fair play, good headers. Wolves, Arsenal, Spurs in the League Cup. There might be one or two more, but they're the ones that come to mind. But we're pinging that ball up for him, and he's just not really causing any issues for Wolves. No penetration, no one grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck and dominating in terms of creating chances, right? We were dominating the ball, dominating possession. But whenever Wolves got up the other end of the pitch on rare occasion and put the ball into the box, it was causing more, not panic, but it was perhaps because it was at the Molineux and the crowd, every time Wolves put the ball in the area were up for it, it just felt, perhaps it sounded and felt more significant than it actually was. But they were causing some sort of issue that needed to be dealt with, whereas when we were putting the ball into the box, they were just heading it away, dealing with it every single time. What positives can be drawn from this? We didn't lose the game. I'm clutching at straws here. We didn't lose the game. No fresh injuries, although Kieran Trippier had a hell of a cut right here, which I thought he would come off. I thought that's going to need stitches straight away, but they glued it up. Considering Lewis Miley was on the bench, I thought he was going to come straight on the right back, but Trippier played the whole game. So we got 90 minutes into Trippier's legs. We didn't lose the game. No fresh injuries and a clean sheet, because let's be honest, we have been shipping goals for fun recently, haven't we? We've conceded 8 in the last 3 games at home. So to have a clean sheet, another game in the bank between Malik Thiaw and Sven Botman, hopefully that partnership can really go on to the next level now, to where they were, I would say, sort of September or early October time. We had a run of games, good clean sheets where those two were playing really well together. Hopefully we can get back to that. Sven Botman got an extra 90 minutes in. Lewis Hall, I thought, looked really good again, although he is starting to get caught out a little bit, taking on that extra player. 7 times out of 10, he gets fouled, but on that one occasion, 2-3 occasions, Wolves took the ball off him. He's on the deck and they stride forward. But Malik Chiao, Sven Botman at the heart of our defence were excellent, I thought, with what little they had to do. Again, I'm clutching at straws here, perhaps, but I've heard it said many a time, more so in relation to goalkeepers and strikers. But if you've got very little to do all game, it is easy to sort of switch off. And when that chance or that opportunity does come for a striker to score a goal or a defender to make a tackle, a header, a block, whatever, read a situation, that sometimes it goes wrong because they've been on autopilot all game. Is it time to change the manager? No, I'm still very much Eddie in. I've seen some people online saying he's lost the dressing room. I don't think that's the case. But despite, even if he has lost the dressing room, even if Eddie Howe set the team up wrong and gave them the wrong instructions, you've got 11 players on that pitch, right? Our starting 11, which I went through just now, are more than capable of beating Wolverhampton Wanderers on any day. I'm sorry, Wolves, no disrespect. Out of all the Midlands clubs, Wolves are the team that I think I want them to stay in the league. I want them to do well, as long as it's not against us. But if things aren't going right, 50, 60 minutes, Kieran Trippier, Bruno Guimaraes should get everyone together. Right, blood boys, it's not going fucking right. We got to change this ourselves. You're seasoned professionals. We got international players. So Nick Pope has played internationally. Kieran Trippier has played internationally. Malik Chow, I think, has played for Germany. I'm not sure. Sven Botman hasn't played for Holland yet. Lewis Hall, has he made his England debut? I don't know. I think he has. Our midfield three, I've already mentioned, all internationals. Anthony Gordon's a regular for England. Harvey Barnes hasn't played internationally. And Nick Voltemade is Germany's number 9. All that experience, all that know-how, all that technical ability, desire, want, etc. And you cannot just change the tactics and go, right, boys, this isn't fucking working. Trippier could say, look, I can see that Trippier's going to speak. From right back, I can see the whole pitch, boys. Right, this game plan, whatever we're doing, it's not working. We need to change this up. Let's go down the other wing. Let's try and drive the ball further up the pitch. Try some more intricate passes. Let's go for through balls. Let's have Wissa on the shoulder. Let's try not spamming the ball into the box every 2 minutes. If we're going to put the ball into the box, let's have big lads, Joe Linton, and later on in the game, Lewis Miley, get around the striker. Because 9 times out of 10, it was Nick Voltemade up against 3 of them. And don't get me wrong, he did not do enough. And his Newcastle career is in a little bit of a free fall at the minute. But you've got to support. We're flashing balls across the box and nothing's happening. Another positive, I did a video a couple of days ago on Anthony Elanga. I thought when he came on, he looked bright. Did he create anything? No, but he looked up for it. He looked like he was trying to prove a point and trying to really affect the game, which was good to see. But yeah, that's in terms of positivity, excuse me, that's all I've got for you today. It just, you get a feel for games, don't you? Certain matches, Leeds was one where you thought there's more goals in this. I had real belief that we were going to go on and win that game. Manchester United away, Wolves away. You just know they're not going to score. You just know it. I started to mentally, I was watching the game, but mentally just check out because I knew they weren't going to win. And obviously I want them to score. I got faith that they can, but in my heart, but my head was like, it's not happening. It's not happening today. And it was painfully obvious to see. Going through the motions, when we're playing full throttle, when the opponent is coming on to us, and we had this problem last season and the season before as well, when we're playing full throttle and the opponent is trying to come at us and leaving holes in behind, and the game is a game of transition, up and back, bit of a basketball game, we are dangerous against anyone. But if a team comes to play at our place or at home, wherever it may be, and sits in that low block and says, come on then, we do not have the technical quality to break them down. We don't. And Bruno Guimaraes has been Superman for us on numerous occasions this season. But does he have that technical expertise, that quality, that ability to pick that pass, to unpick a defensive lock? No, not really, not often enough. Sandro Tonali doesn't seem to have it. Joe Linton, that's not his game. We are in dire need of some creativity in the middle of the pitch. The wingers have improved recently. Anthony Gordon has improved. Again, you'd look at him yesterday with the number 10 on his back, one of our best players on his day, to really take that game by the scruff of the neck and cause mayhem. Come inside, shoot, cross, pass, dribble. Didn't do it enough. So who have we got next? I believe we got PSV at home. Knowing how Newcastle have gone this season, we'll beat them. We'll beat them because the Champions League, bar obviously the top Champions League teams, like your Barcelona and PSG in a few weeks. Can't wait for that one. Like we've played Bilbao, Benfica, and we'll get harder games. Like Aston Villa at home will be a harder game than PSV Eindhoven, guaranteed. But we've extended this unbeaten streak in the Premier League. That's what, 4 games unbeaten now. Same as fucking Wolves. We didn't lose. We kept the clean sheet. No fresh injuries. No signings coming in. It's looking like we're what is the date today? The 19th of January. Nothing. We're leaving it a bit late. In a minute, there's going to be no point because Dan Burn will be back, and I know that's exactly what the club's PR will spin. Oh, just waiting on the fitness of Dan Burn. What's the point in spending in January because it'll compromise your PSR situation for the summer? Well, I'd say it's more important to spend now because if we don't make Europe, the top players that we need aren't going to want to come. They are not going to want to come. If we don't make a European competition, they are not going to want to come. Do you think Sandro Tonali would have come to us if we weren't in the Champions League that season? No. Now, I know there's all sorts to talk about that deal. Did he want to come? Did he not? Did AC Milan force him out the door because they knew that there was a ban coming? Did they think, right, let's catch in on him while we can? I don't know. But that's for another day. But we need to strengthen now to ensure that we are able to attract those players in the summer. It's all very well having 300 fucking million quid in the bank for the summer. I'm not saying we do, but it's all very well having that money. But if the top players who we want to sign don't want to come, it's pointless. We'll end up making signings like, hopefully they come good, but Anthony Elanga, Jacob Ramsey, you know? It's looking like maybe Nick Voltemada because he has undoubted quality, but he just doesn't see, it's a square peg in a round hole at the moment. It just doesn't seem to, I don't know. But anyhow, it's going to get criticised. Obviously, he deserves some level of criticism. But the players, I said the same under Steve Bruce. Steve Bruce was definitely at fault, obviously, but I said the same with the players then. If the manager is giving you a plan that is not fit for purpose and it's not working, you've got enough experience and expertise on that pitch to go, right, lads, this ain't working. We've got to change and do it yourselves. Once you cross that white line, apart from making substitutions, what can the manager do? Really? Yes, he can change the tactics, but you've got to do it yourselves, boys. You've got to do it yourselves. But on to the next. PSV in the Champions League. God, my hair is in desperate need of a trim. And then Aston Villa at the weekend. Then we've got to play them again in the Cup. Oh, God. Another bit of positivity. We've only slipped down to 8th because... Well, this is another thing, right? Oh, I don't know what to do with my hair. It's horrendous. Villa lost to Everton. Liverpool drew with whoever they drew with. Burnley, maybe? Yeah, Liverpool drew with Burnley. Arsenal, I know they're eons away from us, but Arsenal drew 0-0 as well. So it can happen. It can happen. We're not the only team to draw 0-0. Arsenal with Forest, was it? Who were down there. West Ham beat Spurs. But Wolves were there for the taking. If we're got ambitions of finishing in Europe, and we are currently in a Champions League, we got to be dealing with these teams. Got to be dealing with these teams. Anyway, that's enough. I'm just going to keep repeating myself and trying to find diamonds in a pile of shit. But clean sheet, no new injuries. We didn't lose. That's it, really, innit? Thanks for watching. See you later.